you, because sometimes it changes, and if you can.
देख रहा था कोई डेनियल मैकनली की क्या ईमेल आ रखी है ठीक है sounds good no I just need some water
You kicked it there.
चले
Good luck, fella.
4:10 हो गए
All right, then. Go for it.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Amit Boni. I'm General Manager for Motorola in India. Welcome to all of you, and welcome to our friends and colleagues who are looking at us, watching us on the live stream as well. At the very outset, I want to pay tributes to our ex-president, APJ Abdul Kalam, who expired yesterday. He was a tremendous scientist. He was a people's president, but more importantly, he was somebody who inspired a whole generation of people. And I, in my personal capacity, think that he will keep on inspiring a lot of us and the coming generations as well. But to kind of quickly come back to why we are gathered here today, we have some really exciting announcements that we'll want to share with you. India is actually the first place which is announcing. From India, the announcements actually go to London in Europe, US, North America, Latin America, Sao Paulo out there. So some really cool, exciting announcements. But before we kind of go to those announcements, I want to take a quick minute back and tell you what we have been doing at Motorola. So about in last 2 years' time, we have fundamentally tried to drive what we call power to choose. Power to choose for you, power to choose for our end consumers, our customers. So every innovation that comes out of Motorola's stables is actually centered around that. The core theme is end consumer. And what that does is, that has helped us really build some great products. So whether it's Moto X, Moto 360, Moto G, Moto E, all those great products. I'm actually very happy to tell you this. Moto G has been globally our best-selling smartphone. And in India, it's been the best-selling smartphone for Motorola as well. Very interestingly, this is this is the best-selling e-commerce property across e-commerce platforms in India. So the best ever selling anything on e-commerce in India is Moto G. Now, what we have done though is not stopped at making great products. We kind of took it to the next level. We made sure that we drive experiences along with it. So whether it's 160, service centers that we now have, we started with 120, they moved on to about 160 now, or it's Moto Care app that's available on all of Motorola phones. Anytime seamless access over chat or phone to our Motorola customer care, or care on wheels, right? For the first 30 days, we piloted this in Delhi, and we're going to extend it to a few more cities over next week to 10 days time within the August time frame. When you can actually call one of these vans to your place and they will mend your devices. Or our flagship, the picture that you see is our flagship service experience center in Bangalore, right, wherein you can go and touch and feel our devices or get a quick service done out there as well. And all of this is, again, focused on making sure that it's not only the devices that we sell, that the overall consumer experience is taken care of. So what has this really led to? We have grown year on year about 118%. In India, we have actually grown much faster than 118%. So thank you really very much for embracing the power to choose that we stand for. What it has also led to, not only from a sales number perspective, is we've been one of the most exciting brands in India. We were called by Fast Company as among the world's top 10 most innovative companies, and our customer satisfaction scores globally have topped about 85%. Now that's some great response from consumers. Now, don't take my word for it. We got some consumer talking about Motorola devices, so let's have a look at that.
Bought the phone because I'm in love with the features. Love the pure Android L experience on it. Apps runs all of them at a breeze. No lag, no nothing. For the price point, I mean for the specs, damn decent phone. In love with Motorola ever since. All my previous phones have been Motorola's, right from the V3i, the Rocker E6, the Razer XT910, and finally landing onto this.
My friend in my college was using the same, so he absolutely loved the product. So I was like, I can't wait to get it.
I purchased this phone because I was looking for something within 15,000 range. This phone has got perfect features, perfect specs. It's well within my budget.
I've been a big Motorola fan. Okay, right from the beginning, I used to always use the Motorola. I remember how sad I was in between when it kind of went a little bit silent, but how excited I was when it came back in February last year. And this is what came of it, my first Motorola G series. Right after that, I got excited because I got to know the Gen 2 version is coming out, and boom, okay, this is it.
Smartphone I used to use before this was very slow, but this just made my life so much easier because it's so quick.
It was so affordable, and then I always wanted to own an Android smartphone.
Always been a fan of Motorola phones right from the start, the V3i. My last phone was the XT910, was desperately looking out for a replacement for that, and bang, the Moto G 2nd gen comes out.
The life was on a different operating system. It was not as fast. The memory was short. The battery life was short. The application store was very small as compared to this one. So now my life is turned around. I've got ample of applications to choose from. I've got a good battery life that I can rely upon, and the performance is awesome.
Everything about the phone was so cool, right from the design specs, the optional panel that you can have behind the camera, and the fact that it was pure Android was just something that, you know, really got me hooked on. And I didn't feel like going back to the old Android, and this became my new best phone. And I'm really looking forward to the next phone that Motorola has to dash out.
It has to be the battery life. It doesn't die on me. It lasts me the whole day.
Definitely the Moto Assist feature, so it knows when I'm driving and I'm sleeping, and it doesn't disturb me.
I love this phone is because of two reasons, not one. One is because of the clean Android experience. It gives my phone a boost, a real performance boost. And the second reason is that there are minimal preloaded applications, which not only gives me ample space to have the applications I want, but also to have a fully customized phone, wherein only the applications that I want are there and no extra applications.
Well, I love everything about it. Like from top to bottom, I love the phone. But if there's something that should be specific about the phone, it is that it doesn't come with a lot of bloatware. So it kind of gives me my space about what apps I want to fit in. It gives me more space for my pictures or data that I want to carry on my phone.
Absolutely. I don't even have to think twice about it.
Of course, I would definitely go for another Motorola smartphone.
Definitely yes. Desperately looking out for what Motorola is going to bring out to the market next.
Looking forward to the next generation Motorola phone. Can't wait to see the features and the specs they come out with in the next generation.
Well, of course, definitely. I'd no two thoughts about it. I'd definitely go for it.
All right, fantastic. What I want to do now is invite Marcus Frost, who's our Senior Marketing Director for EMEA and India, onto the stage and tell us more about what we're going to do today.
Thank you, Amit. Thank you very much. Okay, hi everyone, and it's really great to be back here in India to tell you a little about the next chapter of our story here. So, Amit just explored with you the successes that we're having in India, particularly around Moto G. Now, a big part of that has been through Motorola's relentless focus around the consumer and the way that they use their mobile devices on a day-to-day basis. Now, in our research, we're finding that consumers are spending more time of their waking hours with mobile devices, and indeed a lot of their sleeping hours as well, as you're about to find out. Phones are becoming so personal now because they help us stay connected to all our friends and family. They collect and they save really great memories now, like all the cameras that you're using right now. They entertain us. They're almost like our best friends. Now, there's a number of terms that are used now to actually explain this, one of which is behind me here, Nomophobia. That's the fear of being without your mobile device. It can leave us feeling really anxious if our mobile device isn't within hand's reach. So there's even terminology around that right now. Now, that's quite interesting. So we've dug a little deeper to try and understand what this is all about. So we talked to thousands of consumers over the last couple of months across the world, a lot of them here in India, to find out a little more about that, and we revealed some really interesting findings. Firstly, 60% of people go to bed with their phone. Now that's the global metric. In India, it's even higher. It's 74% of you guys go to bed with your phone, but you don't stop there. You also take it to the bathroom. You go showering with it as well. 17% of people go to the shower with their mobile phone. Now that's nomophobia in its extreme. And here's another one. 40% of customers, of consumers, tell their mobile phones their deepest secrets they wouldn't even tell their best mate. And in India, that number is 60%. Nearly 2/3 of you will tell your mobile phone those special secrets. So that's quite revealing in itself. Now that's really great, isn't it? Well, no, it's not. We devote ourselves to our phones, but they don't give us that love back today. We're really interested in trying to actually give a two-way relationship in terms of our devices. What do I mean in terms of our phones don't give, the same kind of love back to us? Well, they interrupt us, don't they? When we're in meetings, I'm sure during this time someone's phone's going to go off. They interrupt us at times that, can be a bit of a pain. We also become rather anxious about how long the battery is going to last. Even from breakfast, we kind of look, oh, I've got 87%. Will I be able to make it through the day? That's not a very good relationship, is it? And also, when we're coming to renew our phone, we're a bit worried about how much it's going to cost. How much is it going to damage my wallet? So that's not such a good relationship, and that's something that Motorola wants to try and address. We want to make a phone that's always there for you, and one that's really going to be your best buddy from the day that you get it to the end of its time. So Motorola, we've confronted this problem head on. And we focused on the things that really matter in a two-way mobile relationship. So here's a list of the most important things. If we can conquer these, then you're really going to enjoy that special two-way mobile relationship. Let's explore these. First of all, we have meaningful exchanges, the way in which you interact with your mobile phone. Not having those interruptions. Maybe your phone is intelligent enough to know what's coming up in your calendar, and to then, if you want it to, be silent during those special times. Making and sharing memories, having an amazing camera and enough storage to make sure it's on your phone and access to the cloud as well. Self-expression. We're getting fed up with black and white devices. We like to inject a little bit of color into our lives, so why not have a whole variety of different colors on your next mobile device? A phone that is always there for you, not only in the mornings. So having a really strong battery to keep you going all through the evening as well. Then, of course, all of that at a price point that's not going to break the bank. So the Motorola engineers, they've been beavering away, trying to come up with a solution. And guess what? We have found that magic formula. And what best phone to put it on than the very new third generation of Moto G. So here it is, the new Moto G. Thank you very much. So welcome to a better mobile relationship. The Moto G really is the phone that's always there for you. Let me tell you why. So first off, we have all the special features that you come to expect from Moto G, because we're now onto the third generation. You've come to expect a delicious, gorgeous display we have 5 inches of HD display on the 3rd generation of Moto G. It's got an incredible engine powering it as well, with a quad-core processor from Qualcomm. It's Snapdragon's best that we've put into this device. We also made sure we've got a super long-lasting battery, a little more on that in a moment. Moto G now comes with 4G LTE speeds as well, so you can browse at phenomenal speeds when you haven't got Wi-Fi. So now indeed, the whole Motorola range in India is now 4G capable. And we have an SD card slot. There'll be plenty of memory on board, as Amit will come on to. There's also an SD card just to top you up when you need that. Let me just go back to that middle point there, the battery, because it's quite interesting. What we found in our research is that's the #1 anxiety point that people have. So we wanted to really over-deliver on that. And even with LTE speeds, which can consume more power, we made sure that Moto G 3rd generation will keep going all day and then some. In fact, the battery, even in this gorgeous form factor, is 20% more powerful than the last generation of Moto G, the 2nd generation. So there's a lot more power cooked into this particular device. So I was talking about mobile relationships, and one of those important areas is making and sharing memories. So we've really over-delivered again on this on the 3rd generation of Moto G. We've put in a whopping 13 megapixel camera sensor there, the same sensor that's used on Google's Nexus 6. And remember, that device is about 3 times as expensive as Moto G is today. So that's an example of taking premium features, then making them available to more people through devices such as Moto G. We've also put in a much larger aperture that allows more light to come in there for even more gorgeous photos. We've put in an IR filter so that if there is a lot of glare from infrared, then that's reduced right down. So again, even crisper photographs for you. Now, when there's not enough light out there, we've also really looked at the flash, and we have a color balancing flash on there so that at night when the flash is used, skin tones and other colors look far more natural. So there's some really terrific shots even at night that can be achieved. And then not to mention the last point down here in terms of the selfie cam. 5 megapixels on the selfie cam. Think about that. That's the same technology, the same kind of power, 5 megapixels, that we had on the 1st generation of Moto G on the rear-facing camera, and now that's your selfie cam. We've also got a wider lens on that, so you can fit even more people into your selfies and your best fees, where you have all your best mates in there too. And we've got a little more news about a best fee competition towards the end of this as well. So a super strong camera that we've built into here, and there'll be another little bit of news on the camera coming up. What that enables us to do is then take gorgeous shots. So on the beach, I managed to capture this particular gentleman in an action shot. If you're more into a bit of still life, then we have this beautiful scenic array. And then for those of you that are partial to flowers, it also really pulls out the accents, close up, and all that richness of color too. So it does enable many terrific shots. So back to the mobile relationship. Something else that people we know want is intuitive and genuinely useful experiences on the mobile device, so you can have that great relationship. So where we start at Motorola is with the best operating system on the planet, and that's Android. And on the new Moto G, it's not any old Android, it's the very latest Lollipop 5.1.1. And what that means is you then enjoy all the greatest experiences from Google, whether that's YouTube, Google Maps, Hangouts, and if you've got to do email like some of us, then Gmail as well. All of the latest and greatest through that very pure Android experience. It also means that there is zero bloatware on the 3rd generation of Moto G. There's no custom skins and other bits and pieces like that. That means that the latest Moto G runs ultra quickly, powered again by that quad-core processor and very pure Android environment that we put on there. Then what we do, so you have that really engaging experience, is then build on experiences that complement Android and don't compete with it. So let's have a look at 3 of those. I've got 3 of them noted up here. The first of which is Moto Display. Now what we know is that users of mobile devices, more than 50 times a day on average, they're just powering up their phone to have a look, what's the time, or have I got a notification? And that, of course, uses a lot of battery because you're firing up all of that quad-core processor, or the processors that happen to be in that device, and powering up the whole screen real estate as well. That's wasteful. What if we could actually subtly brief that information to the display while it's off and only use the white pixels to bring that information to you, that you might have an email come in, that you might have missed a phone call, or you might have a latest tweet come in. So we've done that with Moto Display. So when it's on the desk, when it's out of your pocket, it just breathes that information to you gently, telling you the time, and then any information you've got there. If you want to know more about that information, you put your finger on the icon and it will tell you a summary. And if you want to really get into it, swipe up and you're into that application straight away. Nice and simple, an example of a meaningful experience that complements Android. Next is the middle one here. And that's all about the camera. I said I'd mention the camera again. So as well as having this fantastic technology, 30 megapixel rear-facing camera and 5 megapixel selfie camera, it's also important to be able to take fast photos too, because you never quite know when you're going to need that. So something that we've built onto this is quick capture camera. So within milliseconds, your camera is ready to go just by a simple gesture of shaking the phone. And in fact, I've got my Moto G here. So just with a little gesture like that, it fires up and it's ready to take a picture of all of you wonderful people here. And then the third, and probably my favorite experience, because it's the newest kid on the block, is chop twice. Literally, you make that movement and then on comes the flash and then another movement and it turns it off again. Now that I'm using all the time. For example, last night, after a nice meal here, it's quite a late meal, going back to the hotel room, the corridor was quite dark, couldn't really see where I was going, and once I got to my room, of course, the lights were out, I couldn't see a thing. So a nice little chop twice, and then I could find my light switch, and then problem resolved. Another example of meaningful experiences and enhancements that we build on top of that very pure Android layer. Moving on. The final part of that wonderful mobile relationship is then the opportunity to personalize. Now, out of the box, third generation Moto G comes in 2 flavors, black and white. They're both stunning, but wouldn't it be great if we could also have literally every color of the rainbow available, and that's what we've done. So we have shells, which snap on the back of the phone, and flip covers. Again, they snap on the back, and there's a cover that then protects the display. Not that you need protection though, because the display also comes with the very latest Corning Gorilla Glass to protect it if it's rattling around in your pocket or your handbag with keys and change. But again, for that extra protection, we do have flip covers as well. So again, if you really want to express your personality, we have a whole range of accessories to complement the third generation of Moto G. So that's enough of me. I think it's time to invite Amit back to now talk about value and therefore the price around it. So where's Amit gone? I better give him a quick buzz. Let me give him a call. Bear with me, sorry about this. Have you gone and left your phone in here again?
Yes.
There you go, Amit.
That tells you a few things. Wow.
So, that is a very useful reminder, in fact, that another incredible feature that we've now added to new Moto G, third generation of Moto G, is enhanced water resistance.
Perfect.
We call it IPX7. What does that mean? It means that your new Moto G will be absolutely fine in the water that we've got here, up to 3 feet of water and up to 30 minutes. So if you accidentally drop it in the sink, or if you're careless like Amit and it's in the fish tank, your new Moto G is going to be absolutely fine. Anyway, over to you, Amit.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Marcus.
Thank you.
All right. You know, there's a reason why we call Moto G your best friend forever. When we launched the first generation of Moto G, we launched it at 13,999. The second gen actually came in at 12,999. So I'm really very pleased to announce that the current third generation Moto G will be available starting midnight tonight only on Flipkart at 11,999. And if you want to develop your storage and your RAM for another $1,000, you can at 12,999 get a 16 gig and a 2 gig RAM. Now, as I again said, exclusively available on Flipkart starting midnight tonight. What we are also doing is we're adding up a few launch offers for our launch period. So starting midnight tonight till about 2nd August midnight, we got some amazing offers going on. So 100 lucky customers get 100% cash back. 100 lucky people can own a Moto 360 now for about 1 rupee. We're also some courtesy, Flipkart and Myntra, 500 rupees off on, fashion purchase. On Myntra, 33% off on anything that you buy on top of what Myntra is already doing for that day. Wink Plus subscription goes with the device for 6 months, along with a double data 4G offer, courtesy our friends at Airtel. And then all these devices will be bundled with the Airtel 4G SIM card as well. What we are also doing is for our current customer base, which already own a Moto G or a Moto E, we're giving them an option to upgrade to Moto G third generation. They can actually trade in their old device and take a hefty discount and buy a Moto G third generation. So that's where we are with our launch day offers. What I will request is, can we have a quick product video up here?
Yeah, you look good night, black light, clothes gold like a mirror, wanna see my reflection. I only come to do a song. I know that.
All right, great, fantastic. I know you'll be very keen to kind of get your hands on the device, but before we do that, we'd run a best friend forward contest, and we have the winners of that contest here. So if I can request you guys to join me here. And Marcus, can you please? For us, these are the first users of Moto G third generation. So thank you very much, guys, for being here.
Well done.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Great job.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
Thank you very much. Could you please?
I don't know, sorry, please. Well done.
Fantastic. Let me head in here.
We'll fit in here, shall we?
Are we good?
Photo moment.
Go on.
I'll show the backs if you can. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you very much,
Congratulations
guys.
to all of you. Thank you. So, the rest of you, before you escape, there is an opportunity.